What's going on, guys? Waco from Revolution here in Long Beach, California. Kind of midway through my first vacation in a really long time, and I've got to spend the last 2 days with the gentleman that I consider to be the greatest black and gray tattoo artist in the world, but is also an incredible friend of mine and who I've known for more than a decade now, and that's this person right here, Carlos. How are you?
Good, really good. It's been an amazing couple days. It's good to spend it with my really good friend and make some cool art.
Right.
Eat some good food. Always this.
Well, I love the fact that we've become like eating buddies, you know, and then we bought a lot of sushi. And I have to say, the omakase meal you brought me to a couple of days ago was mind-blowingly good.
Man, that was actually a lot of pressure because the last time we ate was in Singapore.
Yes.
No. Actually, it was in LA.
Here. Yes.
Yeah, here in LA.
Yes.
But there've been some really good ones. So
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling the pressure.
Dude, you exceeded it, and the place you brought me to was incredible. It was a young sushi chef who actually got his first Michelin star before he even got his liquor license.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to 715. Yeah.
Okay, so from one genius, a sushi genius, to an artistic genius, let's talk a little bit about the first moment I saw your art. Right? And I remember, so I got into tattoos a little bit later, like in my early 40s. Mm-hmm. At which point I was thinking, since I'm a little older, why don't I make an effort to try to get the very best tattoos I can? You know, and I've always been super enamored with the black and gray style. I was a big fan of like Mark Mahoney and these kind of guys, these pioneers of that style. Jack Ruby as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Then I started scrolling through social media and I landed on your page. And I was just blown away by the artistry, by the delicacy, by the nuance, by the detail. Like I always refer to you as the sort of Rembrandt of tattooing, but I was just, it was incredible. So I remember I tried to reach out to you, and it was a little bit challenging because I think I tried various different sort, and I'm sure you're bombarded by like hundreds of like messages all the time. Yeah. And finally, I got a very kind response that said, "Oh, thank you for your interest, but you know, there's a bit of a waiting list and so on." But being an impatient guy, I noticed in your social media that you love to travel. Mm-hmm. So I remember saying like, "Hey, Carlos, you know, what if I cash in some miles, send you a ticket to Singapore, and you come and hang out?" Right? And you kindly said yes. But what did you think when you received that like message?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty wild, but I'm always down for an adventure, and you seemed nice over emails as much as we could tell. But it was cool, man. It was and a huge honor too, you know. And I got to admit, like, did not know what I was getting myself into. Obviously, this has panned out to be one of my best friendships that I've had, you know. And but didn't know what I was getting myself into. We never met, nothing. So we just. Me and my brother jumped on a plane. Right. Come see you.
Yeah, so I remember George was actually behind the camera here, so shout out to George. Yeah. We love you, dude. I remember, you guys came to Singapore. I remember we had Peking duck. I think it was like our first week. So like food is very important in our relationship. Uh-huh. And then we started talking about tattoos, and eventually you tattooed this piece on me in my apartment with my dachshund sitting there with me, which was really cool. So that was the first piece that Carlos did. Then I had the opportunity at the time to be in Los Angeles a couple of years later, and you were in San Pedro at the time. Yeah. So I came down there, driving a ridiculous car.
Yeah, it was awesome. Shop was not in the best neighborhood. It was a pretty sketchy neighborhood.
It was a super sketchy neighborhood. I had no concept of what San Pedro was at the time. And then my editor at the rate, Tom, we love you. I was like, "Tom, I need a car to drive to San Pedro." And it's like the hotel rings me up and goes, "Sir, your car has arrived." And it's like this like gold Bentley. Yeah. I mean, it was insane. Drove it to San Pedro, didn't get robbed, which was incredible. Yeah. Got this amazing tattoo. Exactly. And then after that, you came to Singapore again for the tattoo convention, right? Yeah. Tell me what your experience was like for that.
So the second time around, I guess I knew a little bit more what to expect going to Singapore. Beautiful architecture, amazing meals, and then the convention was a really cool convention, really well put together. And I got to hang out with 2 days with you, so yeah.
You know, okay, this is the thing that I love so much about Carlos. It's like, and he actually reminds me of like some of my favorite watchmakers who are like, he's a genius, right? But the moment you say that, or you actually praise him for anything, he gets extremely embarrassed. And no, like he's like one of the most humble and nicest human beings as well. And I feel that there's a real parallel with that, especially with independent watchmaking, where you meet geniuses and they're like, and you're like, this is great. You know, like for example, my buddy Denny Falaggio, like from Nibithum, and he's like, it's just what I do. Then he walks away because he's embarrassed. Okay, so we went from that. So we did this Lion in the Singapore convention. And then the most recent piece until today was last year, where I came to Los Angeles and we spent 4 days together, and we did this victory-themed sleep, which was an incredible experience as well. And we also had another great omakase sushi meal.
Yeah, 4 days straight.
Right.
4 days straight. Yeah, that's. I'll give you a lot of credit for that.
Thank you. That's very
that's you, tough person.
Right. Well, you're nice. But so during this time, the subject of watches came up, of course, right? And I was like, Carlos, are you interested in any watches? And he, in general, I think the theme that you dressed primarily in black, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you looked at a couple of different watches. I think you looked at a Panerai, or you looked at a couple of other ones as well. But you wanted something that was black.
Yeah.
And we started discussing the different ways that you can achieve a black watch. You can do it basically with a metal that's coated black, or you can do it with a material that is black to begin with, right?
Yeah.
And we started talking about ceramic, because that's essentially a material that's scratch proof, right?
Yeah.
And for your job, where you move around a lot and so on like that, you're interacting, you were like, oh, I think that's kind of ideal. So then we started discussing it. We looked at pictures, and you quickly landed on the Tudor Black Bay Ceramic.
Yes.
Tell me what was appealing about that watch to you.
I'm a very, I guess, maybe low-key kind of person. I'm not too flashy of a person, so I've always just wanted something, even the matte black, and I just found it appealing because it was like dark, kind of low-key, and it was just, it screamed to me, and I was just, that's what I want. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you had sent me a few of them. Sorry, I cut you off, but
no.
you had sent me a few of them, and I was like, okay. And then once you sent me this one, I was like, that's the one.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, but then you discovered that it's not so easy to acquire a Tudor Black Bay
I
Ceramic.
had no idea that it wasn't that hard to find one.
Yes.
Yeah. So after you left, I started my search and contacting different Tudor retail stores and whatnot, and man, it was just nobody could get it.
Really?
Even different, a few other people that I know that collect watches,
right.
And they have the watch guy.
They're
like, they have the connections, and the connections could not find it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, I see it on your wrist.
That's
So
right.
somehow you managed to get it, which it looks phenomenal on your wrist as well.
Thank
so
you.
tell me the story about how you found that watch.
So I was walking down in Paris. I forgot the name. Champs.
Champs-Élysées.
Yes. Yeah. I'm all champ.
Yeah.
You say it way better than me.
No.
But yeah, walking down the. We had just finished the Paris Tattoo Convention.
This was last year.
No, this year in November.
This year, okay.
In November, yeah. And walking down, we were doing a little shopping. We'd worked hard all the weekend, and we were figuring we'll spend a little money. And I just bought a jacket, and I was like, all right, that's good. And then lo and behold, here's the Tudor store.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, let's go take a look. And sure enough, they had one.
Wow.
They had one last one left, and I was like, it's coming home with me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize it's only like a month old, basically.
Yeah, that's a baby.
So what's the experience been like wearing it? Like how does it make you feel? What do what's the emotion you get from that?
I mean, it's perfect. Like it's exactly what I wanted. I'll admit, like it's got to give you a little boost of confidence,
Nice.
when you wear it. But I like the size of it. Feels good on my wrist, and I'm happy.
I love it because I think it perfectly expresses who you are. It is iconic. It's incredibly well made. It's got a great in-house movement in there with the silicone hairspring, free spring balance wheel. Just super in its quality. It's super discreet at the same time, and it's it's made with the greatest integrity. Also, to have a material also that genuinely is scratch proof, and to have it like simultaneously with this really discreet design. Yeah, I think it fits you perfectly, dude. So congratulations, man.
Thank you. We a little bit before we started this interview, you had mentioned about tattoos marking period in your
Right.
life.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because I feel like this is marking a period in my life.
That's cool.
You know, because it just kind of where I'm at with, you know, in my life, you know, I just bought a new home, and this will definitely every time I will remember like this time, you know. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you're in a really good place, and I'm very fortunate to also be in a really good place as well. And I think, as you say, watches and tattoos, like they mark moments in your life. So
Yeah.
Carlos, you know, very kindly allowed me to get this tattoo over the last 2 days. And this tattoo is also going to remind me of a period where everything kind of came into alignment for me.
Yeah. Good.
And I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful for the friendships and the relationship that I'm in.
Yeah.
And this tattoo will always remind me of that too. So great watches, great tattoos.
Yeah.
There's a real sort of like symbiosis in terms of meaning.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. Well, we've got a little bit of tequila left in our glasses. We better do this up. Dude,
Cheers, brother.
thank you, sir, and wishing you an amazing 2023.
Likewise.
Cheers.
Okay.
Peace, guys.